In what may be almost a record for a bug fix update, Apple has issued iOS 14.5.1, just 7 short days after the big release of iOS 14.5. Here's what is in it, how to get it and what came before. Plus, Apple's changelog for this update follows at the end of this post. This update is for compatible iPhones, with iPadOS 14.5.1 which is simultaneously released for compatible iPads. That means all iPhones from iPhone 6s onwards, including iPhone SE, both the first and current editions, plus the 7th generation iPod Touch. For iPads, if you have any iPad Pro, iPad Air 2 or more recent, iPad Mini 4 or newer and iPad from 5th generation onwards, then you're good to go. Updating is straightforward. You'll be an old hand at this, I'm sure, but just in case. First, go to the Settings app on the iPhone and choose General, then Software Update. Then it's Download and finally, Install. This is a quick but important update. What's in the update? There's just one thing on the feature menu in this update, and that's a fix for app tracking transparency, along with important security fixes. You may remember, was one of the biggest advances in iOS 14.5. It means that you can choose whether apps can track you or not, by presenting a screen to that effect. However, some users who had disabled the setting allow apps to request to track and then re-enabled it found that they weren't getting the prompts they were expecting, where each app would individually ask permission to track. That, according to Apple, is what's been addressed in this update. Oh, and just as importantly, there's a bunch of what Apple describes as important security updates, which also affect earlier iPhones. For that, iOS 12.5.3 has been released. For both, the release addresses web flaws in WebKit and WebKit storage, bugs that meant malicious web content could lead to unexpected results and that memory corruption was the issue, which has now been fixed, Apple says. Read on for details of what was released in earlier updates. Previous iOS 14 update iOS 14.5 was released on Monday, April 26 with a slew of new features. These include the capability to unlock iPhone with Apple Watch if you're wearing a mask, more than 200 new emoji and app tracking transparency. This means that when you launch an app that collects your activity data or tracks you, you can turn off that option. There's a benefit for iPhone 11 series models to recalibrate battery health reporting, and dual SIM 5G was introduced. There was the ability to choose your music service, new voices for Siri, a fresh look for podcasts, and the ability to use PS5 and Xbox Series 10 controllers for gaming on your iPad and iPhone. These were just the big changes. There was also the AirPlay 2 support for Apple Fitness Plus, Siri calling emergency services for you, and an updated Reminders app with more features. Plus, bug fixes aplenty.